are listening to Waves in the Ocean, a conscious living podcast. Like the ocean, we are all part of the collective consciousness, each expressing an individual wave. In this podcast, we give you the tools to live with intention, reconnect with your true essence, and create more abundance in every aspect of your life. We are your hosts, Lauren and Lauren, best friends, yogis, magical beings, and ascension guides. Our intention is to share our authentic truth and bring on others living a conscious life to create a ripple effect in this world. Let's go on an amazing journey together. Hi, everybody. And this is the Waves in the Ocean podcast. We are Lauren and Lauren, best friends on this journey of conscious living together.
Yeah, so excited to be here with you guys.
Yeah, we have been best friends since preschool and pretty much have done like everything together. And looking back on our lives, like I did not think that we would be here now.
I know. It's a great thing though.
It truly is. So yeah, we met in preschool. We played soccer together. We would spend our weekends just like eating like crap, like Doritos, Mountain Dew, playing video games.
Standard American lifestyle.
Yes, all the things, but we did have a lot of fun.
Yes.
Making forts and all that like random kid shit that kids should be doing more nowadays.
Exactly.
And then high school, we both started, played soccer, started to get more into drinking and partying, and that especially accelerated in college, where thank God we went to different colleges because I'm pretty sure like we would not have survived.
Yeah. Again, typical American path.
Right. It turns out we both studied abroad in Australia. She went the fall semester and I went spring semester, and the universe knew that like we would not make it out alive.
Same school, different times.
Yes. Similar paths, but different lives.
Or interdimensionally, maybe we were together.
I don't know. Yeah, everyone always asks if we're sisters, twins.
Right.
But I think it's just like become clearer and clearer that we are supposed to do this mission here on Earth together.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But through all that, Lauren came to stay with me in 2015 when I was living in San Diego. We both live in South Shore, Massachusetts now. That's where we grew up, and life brought me back here. But for a couple of years, I lived in San Diego, working full-time nutrition. So I do nutrition. That's kind of what I went to college for. But I always was working in like hospitals in like corporate America job. I quit every job I did in a year because I was like, this is not what I signed up for. Feeding people shit in, random places or whatever. So Lauren stayed with me and started to do her yoga teacher training. And I, the whole time was like, I need to do this.
Yeah.
And I would say yoga is really what shifted for you.
100%. My whole life, I always say I owe to the practice just because it's what really created a pivotal change in my perspective on reality. And I always had a little bit of a different perspective, but yoga catapulted that into fruition for me in so many different ways. So I have a lot of respect and owe a lot to the practice. Or not owe a lot, I should say, but I'm very appreciative of it.
And I watched before my eyes Lauren go from a steak and potatoes person who only ate pickles as her one vegetable to coming home and trying to create these like vegetarian dishes. She had no idea what she was doing. I have visions of her in my kitchen right now. It was just like...
I was pissed. I was like, oh, what do you mean you shouldn't eat meat?
Right? She was like trying to do all these creations with like the fake, I think you had like fake meat and stuff in the pan.
It was all like veggie burgers and stuff like that.
Yes. But you really tried.
I did.
What is it? 8 years later, it seems like it's been 20, seeing how much like you've changed, I've changed. But
yeah. Feels like a lifetime.
Things can change quick when you get on this path. But so yeah, she did her training with me for a couple weeks, maybe a month or so.
Yeah.
And then after that, a few months later, I was like, I'm doing mine. So I did a little more extended one for 3 months. And even then, yoga's just the gateway to it all. I didn't meditate at all during my yoga training. It was one of my goals. And I was like, I have no idea how to do that. I just thought it's all about the physical, right? I'm like, be in shape. I'm going to learn to do all these cool poses and then like just become this like celebrity nutritionist yoga instructor, like completely in my ego.
Disconnected to any of your like body and stuff like that.
Right. It's just, hey, but So yeah, then I moved back to Massachusetts in 2017 and started working, like ran a job. Lauren was in math teaching, but I left corporate.
I've left corporate at that point, teaching high school math, it's fantastic. I love working with kids, but the whole system behind it is a different story. And then things just kind of shifted, and it's like, that was the path. And it's like, what path, right? What path are we even talking about right now? But it's just coming back to this conscious living mindset. And that's the path that we're walking down right now.
I think we were starting to embody it more and more from yoga.
Yeah.
And just getting into more meditation. But I would say where we've really started to just have this awakening and understand what it was and feel things like shift within was in 2020 when everything shut down and we had time.
Yeah.
When we came together to work anyways, or when it got fast
tracked at that point, the more energy fields in different aspects of that idea, for sure.
In 2020, everything shut down. We actually had time.
Yeah.
So we spent our weekends in her boyfriend's restaurant in the function room upstairs, just making videos. And it was all more about the physical at first. Like
100%.
We maybe recorded like 4 workouts a day and just keep going, but it kept us busy and entertained. And we realized we're helping a lot of people, and we're like, oh, maybe we should actually like do something with this. And then through one day, Lauren was like, I have a new hobby and it's crystals. And I was like, I need some.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, I think I did every reading there ever was. My reality was shattered open between that and plant medicines.
Yeah.
And our work has shifted much more to the emotional, the spiritual, just a deeper understanding of why we're here and helping other people on this path versus just so much the physical.
Exactly. It's detaching to the idea that we are this physical body, and that's all we should be focusing on, when in reality, there's so much more to us than meets the eye. We are just an energetic being experiencing in this physical form, and we need to tune into the energy behind our emotions, the energy behind our thoughts, and the energy of our actual energetic field that is always there, but we don't see. And bringing the interplay of all of them connecting together and fluidly moving and balancing, rather than just looking at the physical body as the end all be all of what we should be focusing on. Because that's the issue, that we only focus on the physical, and it's actually the last place where disease, illness, pain expresses itself. It hits the energy, it hits the mind, it hits the emotions first, and then expresses in the physical. So really gearing towards this balanced state of looking at all of our bodies rather than the physical form.
And would you say that is what conscious living means to you?
Yeah, conscious living to me means so many things, right?
It's How would you best describe that to people?
Living intentionally, showing up in each moment, showing up with your heart, showing up with a clear head, showing up with the energy of infusion of love and excitement and appreciation for whatever you're doing, and intently being present in whatever you're doing as well.
And to add into that, when you start to live consciously, it can make you question everything you've ever done. Like,
yeah,
from society and how we are raised and grown up is based on just busyness of, you got to go to school, you need to get a good job, you need to get married, you need to have kids, hate your job, make some money, retire, and then what?
Yeah.
We die.
Then we're dead.
Right? And then that's it. But when you start to like really become aware of yourself and slow down and be like, why do I live this way? Right? Or what has made me feel this is the only way of living? When you question it and become more of the observer of your life, is bringing on these higher states of consciousness and just living with more awareness and connected more to the truth of who you are.
Exactly.
Versus who you were told to be, or all the patterns that you feel like you have to live this life by in order for what? Right. And who, following, all the standard American stuff, who is happy and healthy? A majority, not so much.
Right.
So it's not like I'll say like I'm 34 and I'm single. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, society may tell me that you're supposed to be, you know, married with kids, but I know plenty of people who have that and maybe aren't happy themselves. So I think no matter where you're at, as long as you're happy, regardless of what society says, then that's the truth of what really matters.
Yes. And we've normalized way too many things. We've normalized disease. We've normalized chronic pain. We've normalized being unhappy in relationships, unhappy with ourselves, being anxious and depressed. And that normalization has made us feel that as a collective, as a society, that it's okay to be living this, not this lower vibrational, but like this, not this optimized life. And Laura and I always talk about, do people actually know how good they can actually feel?
Mm-hmm.
And because it's limitless, honestly, it's limitless. Everything in our life is limitless and infinite. And if we started to detach from the idea that, oh, work sucks. Oh, I got to do this. I'm running here. You know what? Life is hard, but it's hard for everyone. And realizing, no, life is abundant. Life is bliss. I deserve to be happy, healthy, and in love with every moment of every day. That's when we truly start to embody that in our physical world around us. And that's when we make big shifts in our lives. And this is what walking this path, living consciously, is all about: detaching and deconstructing, I should say, all of the belief patterns that aren't serving you, that are keeping you small, keeping you from living the most fulfilled and happy life that you've ever imagined.
Mm-hmm. Because beneath it all, we are all just the same, which is love and light.
Yeah.
Born into this world as like perfect souls. And something that we have been talking about recently is how we are all born into this life so abundant.
Yes.
I love this reference.
Mm-hmm.
But in your mom's womb, you are so abundant. It's warm. You're fed whenever you want to be fed. You're just like, you know, you're just chilling. It's like, you know, you deserve it all.
The Bahamas.
Right? And then you're born into this world and it can be like, oh, holy shit. But as a baby, you know, people hold you and they love you and all the things. And then you learn from society, like based on what parents are doing or caretakers, like, oh, you can't have that. Or you start to deny your needs because you're told you need to wait, or you see your parents denying their needs. And it makes us create all these, which we like to call shadows. And then there's deep inner child work we can go into with that. It makes us create all these limiting beliefs that start to make us think that that's our reality and the truth of ourselves. And it becomes so ingrained in us that as we age and grow older, we forget. And we attach to all these false beliefs, which when we don't go in and deal with the past can create all of these blocks and shadows and can come out in any triggers you're currently having. Pain, disease, anything you can think of.
Yeah. Look around. It's festering everywhere.
But the truth of it is, you are abundant in love. It's just doing this work and coming to a conscious state can help you to start to really remember who you are.
Mm-hmm. And it's that abundant and bliss state of mind where you are in every facet of your life, your thoughts of yourself, your physical health, your mental health, emotional health, your mindset, your relationships with people, freedom you have to do the things you love, your personal wealth, and wealth being not just how much money you have in your bank account, but how much joy, how much excitement you have in your life as well. Really comes into alignment because you are consciously making choices to make changes in your life, which creates bigger impacts in the people that you love, the people that are around you all the time. And it's through this state of mind that you open up to an infinite possibility of where you can go.
The possibilities are endless, completely endless.
So infinite in every way.
You were saying though that, people don't know how good they can feel.
Yeah.
So I think that's what holds a lot of people back from embarking on this or having curiosity. There's a difference between being interested in this stuff or curious versus actually doing the work and being willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where a lot of people they stop because there's fear, or it's they don't realize like how much it's actually going to help them. Can you explain a little like of your life of like how becoming like more, you know, conscious or actually going in and doing the work has helped you shift from, you know, pain or where you were at in your life in your younger years? Or
Yeah,
like, why
for sure.
might somebody even like care to do this?
Because you don't know how good you can feel, man. It's like a high. Days I just wake up so excited for life and happy. And it's through all of this work, hands down. Truly, you don't know how good you can feel. And as a society, myself included, I'll speak from personal experiences as well as our whole society lives in fight or flight. Our sympathetic nervous systems are just active cortisol releasing, or cortisol is releasing so much that your adrenals are shot. And we're in this constant state of living from fear. And if you're watching the news, and if you're watching all of the crazy things in the world, and if you're hating your job and you're drinking coffee all day, you're just, body's being inflamed. You're in fight or flight, and disease, pain, anxiety, stress is flooding your moments to moments. And it's through this work that we start to shift from this fight or flight state of being and move and shift into rest and relax state of being. And your body can finally get a chance to regenerate, to be at ease, to find stillness, and then you get deeper within yourself. So for me personally, I had chronic pain all over my body for like 5 years. It would jump around. I would hop around. Like it would go from my back, and it would go into my wrists, and they would switch wrists. I would be like wearing wrist guards. I waitress, and I would be wearing wrist guards at my tables. And I was like freaking embarrassing, because like, oh, do you have sprained wrists? I'm like, no, I need the extra support. I'm 23, by the way. No reason for me to have structurally back pain, wrist pain, knee pain. I would go to physical therapists, doctors, MRIs, sports therapists, specialists, acupuncturists, massage therapists, like you name it. I did it. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars spent for the same answer. People telling me that they don't know what's wrong with me. And then that can make you feel like you're making up in your head. I never truly felt that way. I was like, no, these people are stupid. I was like, something's off. But I know a lot of people who then are like, am I making this up? So if you're one of those people, you're not making this up. Your body is trying to give you feedback. Your body's trying to give you feedback of something out of alignment in your life. And for me, I had a lot out of alignment. You know, I was in a corporate job that I hated. I went to school for something I hated. I did it for other people because they wanted me to be successful. And I was trying to people please my parents, my family, all of these things. On top of that, there was a lot of emotional trauma trapped in my body that I buried for so long, right? And it was through the process I read this book, Healing Back Pain by Dr. John Sarno. And it was fantastic. It was this about the mind-body connection and how the emotions trapped in your body can fester as illness and disease and chronic pain and like autoimmune issues and like cancer, all of these things. And within a week of reading that book, all of my pain of 5 years plus, went away in a week, and it never came back. And the only times it does come back, I'll give you an example. I was like in a soul cycle class once, and I was thinking about the economic crash of society, and my back pain came back for like a day. Yeah. I like kind of stopped riding. I was like, oh shit. I was like, stop it. Again, very emotional and fear-based.
Your thoughts create your entire reality.
Yeah.
And the beliefs behind them. So that is a whole other topic we could go into.
Mm-hmm. And that's like the conscious living behind it, because we are truly creating at any point in time. And collectively as a society, and you could go as deep as saying as like a world, we have been way too lax in our putting up with what we're miscreating, with what we're creating unconsciously. Mm-hmm. Because if you are creating stress and you live a hectic, crazy, chaotic life, I hate to tell you, but you're creating that. It's not your brother, your husband, your friend, your mother who is causing this turmoil in your life. It's subconscious patterns and beliefs that are creating it.
It's getting out of victim mode of like, mm-hmm. This is happening to me, like this person did this and that. Conscious living is shifting your perspective to realize you are the creator of your own reality. Mm-hmm. And every trigger around you, every person that triggers you, every body pain you have, any illnesses you're going through, your boss at work you hate, like it's happening for you. to give you the evidence and show you exactly what it is that you need to change. And it is the most empowering thing when you can shift it to that. Lauren and I look at everything and I'm like, why is this triggering me?
Exactly.
Got to go meditate and journal about it. And through doing that, you can be led to these crazy places of like, oh my God, like, thank you for triggering me.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to go and heal this right now.
Exactly.
Rather than being in fear mode or blaming mode is going to keep you exactly where you are. So, but yeah, no, I'd just love to hear, because I was with Lauren at the time and to see how far you've come.
Yes.
From 23-year-old raging partier.
Alcoholic. Raging partier. Alcoholic. But not one who was like, I didn't
Same.
I could stop at any point in time, but I couldn't, like days, like I could go a week, whatever. So without drinking. But once I started, it was like Pringles. I couldn't stop. Like, and I truly couldn't stop, and I'd black out every time.
We both did,
Yeah.
especially together. She was bad influence on me, but I also influenced myself, but pretty sure.
Who was influencing who?
I don't know.
We'll never know.
I always thought the next drink would make it more fun until like I'd pass out and get kicked out or make a huge scene, then wake up and like hate my life and then do it all over again. And you think about how much trauma that just creates in the body, right? Both the physical and the emotional, putting all that toxins in your body for the first place. And then just like keep waking up in like guilt and shame.
Yeah. I used to wake up and like open my phone, not read anything, and just delete everything. Every text, every phone call deleted, so I just never knew.
I said like it never counted.
Never counted.
Never counted. And then we just like, you want to go to yoga? Yeah, let's go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then we would just like, that would wash it away and we'd just do it again and forget.
Because remember, we were very successful in our jobs too. Mm-hmm. So it was like this invincible type attitude, at least for me, because the culture is promoted so much and we were doing so well and we're established and we had our jobs and like we were very successful in every other way. And now we're just having fun. Right. But that's like, again, that's like the culture of our society and it makes no freaking sense.
It's the hamster wheel.
Yeah.
We were both successful, but both didn't love the work we were doing and lived for the weekends. Mm-hmm. And when you're in a job you hate all day, come home stressed and think like, a drink or two at night is going to make you happier. Of like, just can't wait till Friday so I can get out and release some stress, right? Mm-hmm. You're not releasing it during the week. It can seem so nice just to forget.
Yes.
Just to go out and forget and relieve the stress. But then you wake up feeling like shit and you're tired. And then on Monday, you just repeat it all over again. Through the conscious living and making changes in yourself, you can break the cycles.
Exactly. And it's breaking the patterns, it's rewiring the subconscious beliefs, doing the shadow work, doing the inner work, bringing the meditation practices into your life, the breathing practices into your life to tune back into what you actually want.
It's reconnecting with yourself, reconnecting with your body, your mind, your soul. I think a lot of us get really disconnected from our bodies, which I know that I was. And that's been a big part of my healing journey, of being able to listen to my body and treating it like it's awesome. Like we aren't in these bodies for a long time and our souls choose these bodies. And it's realizing how amazing that is.
Yeah.
We're like, this is the body I need in this life. This one's going to show me the lessons. And a lot of us spend our whole lives like hating our bodies or trying to perfect them for what society thinks is perfect. Right? I need to be super skinny, or I need to have a huge butt, or I need to be super muscular. Then I'll love myself. For me, that's where I held a lot of my trauma. And getting into this work, I can say I've finally been able to release that and now just live and move and eat in any way that I want to. That makes me feel good without guilt or judgment.
Exactly. And just deepening that connection of this, like this vessel that holds you, because again, it's not you. You are not your physical body. It's a being. It's alive, and you should have a relationship with it because it's not you at all. It's like, I always love the analogy of you would never be in your car and I wouldn't point at you in your car and be like, oh, you're your car. No, you're the driver of your car. Same with your body. You're not your body. You're the driver of your body. So be kind. You wouldn't go destroy your car. There's people like would like love their cars so much. So why would you do it to your body? It's transporting you around. It has wants, needs, and desires.
It's one of your biggest tools in this lifetime. yeah, for me, I got into nutrition at a young age because I had an eating disorder. And I thought like that job was so cool. And then going to college, I was like, if I'm a nutritionist, I'll be skinny forever. Yeah. Right. And I built this whole ego identity behind it of needing to be super small and fit or nobody would come to me. And I thought if I didn't look that way or was perceived in that way, that I would like lose all my clients. Or, just the image of it, especially being a yoga instructor. There's a huge stigma behind yoga instructors and how they look. And it made me super disconnected from my body. It's like low calorie, I'll work out 3 hours a day. And that's how I lived my life and was exhausted and starving and no emotions whatsoever. I was just busy and tired all the time and not fueling myself. Being busy and tired all the time, there's absolutely no way I would ever be connected. So through the yoga practice, I was able to slow down. And then the past few years of some plant medicine journeys really rocked me open. And then being able to go and do the internal work of going back to give my younger self love and healing and loving all the aspects of myself. And dealing with some pretty just like heavy emotions around that. Like I felt like my insides were dying. But it's worth it. It's so worth it and it's never as bad as you think. Like I was having these really super big fears of like, if I stop exercising and learn to listen to my body, I'm going to gain like 100 pounds because I deserve it. And I was putting all these like labels behind it. But through just the trust and patience and reconnecting with my body, what actually it feels like to move and eat in a way that feels good. It's just been one of the most empowering journeys and learning to just like really love and accept the body for all it's here to do. Because, you may think conscious living, right? And you're way out in the stars, like connecting. Yeah. But it's about the work that we're doing here. Exactly. And bringing it all into fruition of, because we're all connected, right? I don't know if you want to explain like the waves.
Yeah, let's do that. So it's like, again, it's not about what you do. It's about how you show up to what you do. It's that consciousness state. The consciousness is what's inside the vessel of the body. So it's like, what is consciousness? It's such a loaded question. And there's so many wrong definitions out there of what it is. It's not a mind state. When you think of consciousness, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, the conscious mind, the waking mind. It's not that. It's not brain activity or mental processes. It's not awareness. It's not psychic or ESP or psychology or paranormal phenomenons. It's not any of those aspects. What consciousness is, it's the fabric of the universe. It's the intertwining of energy. And the idea of unity and we are one is because this energy is all around us. It's who we are. It's what we are made of. And it's nothing and everything all at once.
That definition just like can piss people off. Because it's the truth, but it's like, but what is it?
And it's something so expansive that it can't be defined, right? Because it's the driving force for everything that exists. We would not be here without consciousness. And we like to think of it this way. This is why it's waves in the ocean, right? Consciousness, you have this universal consciousness when we're all like, oh, we're all one. We all come from the same source, because think of it like the ocean. We're all the ocean. That's the universal consciousness. And then each one of us is an individual expression of that universal consciousness. Each one of us is the wave. So each one of us is the waves in the ocean. An expression in our own unique frequency and vibration, because we all vibrate, right? We are made of electrons and protons and neutrons that vibrate at a specific speed. And that speed, that frequency is unique to you. And it's part of the whole. And without your unique expression, without your unique frequency, the whole isn't complete. Same thing with the waves in the ocean. We're just an individual expression of universal consciousness.
It's so cool to think of it that way. Every time I go to the ocean now, I'm always just looking and I'm like, I'm one of those waves.
Yeah. I'm like, that is me.
That is me. My wave is rocking it. Right. But I think you can watch as well. I go to the beach all the time, but just watch how it's all in flow. And created and destroyed over and over again. And it's just a beautiful thing that like there's no attachment.
Exactly.
The ocean just knows everything is perfect.
Exactly. It's so beautiful.
It is. But I like the point of like, we're all individual, unique expressions of it. We because it's like we're all one, but we're not all meant to be the same person. We're here as a form of creation, which is like the biggest power that there is. Like the creativity, like that sexual energy is embodied in all of us. So it's through the process of one, it's just really meaning to show love and realizing that we're all equal.
Exactly.
As one from the same source, but not trying to be like somebody else.
No.
It's loving each aspect of yourself, knowing that you were created in this way and here on earth to really embrace the things that you love. That's what we're all here to do. It's your own unique gifts and expressions and not trying to be, or, you know, like Lauren said, I thought I needed to go to corporate America. Through trying to embrace that life, it led her to all these lives of pain and all the things, but coming to this consciousness of the truth of back to who you are is where you express your true self and you shine in the world and happy and bliss and love every day. So I said this in class the other day, but in order to like know who you are, in order to really get to the root of like, what are you doing? You need to slow down.
Yes, you need to be.
You need to at least take like 5-10 minutes.
Half hour.
Minimum 30 minutes a day to just like be with your thoughts, be in stillness, start a meditation practice, but
not on your phone, not watching TV.
If you are in the hamster wheel of work, traffic, food, alcohol, sleep, news, there's absolutely no way you will ever get connected until you take the time. But
that's when you go on that journey to take that time, you start to do what you're here to do, become the master of your emotions. And what you're going to like is going to be different with what I like, which is going to be different with what Lauren likes. I love astrology and I read into it a lot and look at charts and stuff like that. And everybody's blueprints is different and everybody's here for the different reason, different likes, different dislikes, because everybody is that different frequency. That's part of the whole, right? We're all part of that same energy and everything is connected through this universal field of literally energy particle. And it's this giant living system. And that's why you can feel energy. And that's why people are psychic. And that's why when I say all psychic, when I say people are psychic, we're all psychic because we have that antenna, because there's waves all around us, not ocean waves, actual energetic waves.
It's all connected though.
Right. It is all connected. So those waves, we can't see them because they're vibrating so quickly, or they're in a different dimension or things like that. But you can clear your antenna if you visualize yourself as an antenna to pick up like a radio station, new frequencies. That's all psychics do. That's all mediums do. They shed, for one, limiting beliefs that it's weird to be a psychic and medium and that you can't do it. They shed all those belief patterns. They clear their antennas by spending time by themselves, by eating clean foods, by meditating, by tuning in to the higher levels of consciousness. And then now, because their antenna has less crud on it, they can pick up frequencies.
Most of us have tar around our antenna. And it's, if you notice that like common theme is going on in your life, you start to talk to other people. It's like, oh, I'm dealing with that too right now. Or I was feeling that. It's because it's the consciousness around you is picking up on the frequencies. And that is not by coincidence.
Exactly. And it's the old, outdated science view that we all learned that your environment creates your thought, right? Whatever it's, we blame everything on the external. My mother, my job, this person cut me off, yada, yada, yada. And that creates our internal state of being. When in reality, that's Newtonian. That's old. That we use that because it's easy. The math around it is easy. But when we go into quantum model and we go into the quantum physics and the mechanics of it all and the Einstein theories and all of these beautiful people, it's actually your thought creates your environment. And when we come to the fact and sit with the idea that our internal state creates the environment around us, we claim our power back. And why they don't teach it to us, it's because it's more complicated. The math is more challenging. And honestly, the other model keeps people at bay. They keep people worker bees. They keep people from being the greatest authentic expression of themselves.
It's all a hoax.
It's all a hoax. We'll get into that another time.
But that is where this work comes in, is being willing to go into the depths, to feel the uncomfortable emotions, and to get to this place of love and connection. And, the deep truth is shedding the layers, is taking away and questioning everything you thought you were to come back to who you really are.
Mm-hmm.
You are not just a mom. You are not just, we put all these labels on
teacher, sister, doctor.
If you ask somebody like who they are, it's like, I'm Lauren Holland. I am a nutritionist and a yoga instructor. It's not who I am. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And who I am
can't be defined by words.
It's a fantastic fairy medicine woman goddess. Right?
Exactly.
It's not a label of what you do. It's a feeling and more frequency of who you are. Yes, if that resonates at all, or even if you're picking up on a couple of things, it's just planting seeds and then you come back to it.
And once you start walking this path, right, the conscious living path, showing up intently, taking time for yourself, eating whole, good foods, moving your body in a way that feels good, connecting with nature, connecting with the people around you more, you start to, we call it raise your vibration. And you start to have a more constant state of being that's in elevated emotions of happiness and joy and love. And it's through the shadow work and through the clearings and through the breath work that you clear old energetic patterns, you work through traumas, you notice your belief systems, you realize why you are the way you are. And you pack up all these beliefs that other people gave you and give them back to them, that your vibration starts to raise and raise and raise and get higher and higher and higher. And that's that ascension that people talk about, right? 5D, all of these things. It's not escaping anything. It's just becoming the master of your emotions in this third dimensional world that nothing phases you. You're neutral.
Yeah. I have a couple of things on that.
Yeah.
Just knowing that, we used to think 5D, we're going to leave the planet. It's not the case. It's just a different consciousness. And Earth itself has moved from 3D to a 5D conscious being. So in order to be on Earth, she's letting us be here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
She could wipe us out in a second.
Yeah, it's always hilarious to me. People are like, oh, granted, be kind to Mother Earth. Legit. Don't throw your shit everywhere. Do the things to keep the earth clean. Eliminate plastic when you can. But it's this hilarious to me that people are like, we're destroying her. We're going to, no. She'll wipe us out whenever she wants to. We're her evolutionary blip. And she gets to decide what happens to us.
In an instant. So it's just being grateful and knowing that it's just two different timelines right now. It doesn't mean we're going separate places, but in order to, remain in the new souls that are being born into this life is coming in a 5G frequency, a new way of love and living, which is a state of higher consciousness.
Yeah.
But it's leaving behind those old fear-based programming of the 3D of keeping you in a lower state of consciousness of being like the worker bee or not doing what we love and thinking it's normal to live in sadness and anger and grief and all the things that hold you back. So as the planet shifts, we shift.
We're just along for the ride.
We are. And this is the ride. It doesn't mean we're going other places, but you can, if you're around a lower vibe person that's living in fear or somebody who's living in love, you are going to notice a difference. You are going to feel it in between. And that's the way the world is going. It's going to go. So either you're doing the work and you're heading to this place of more love and peace and expressing your true self, or you get stuck in the wheel, keeping you in a place of fear.
Yeah. And not to say, I don't want to say that the other timeline is full of chaos and you can see it right now in the world. It's getting chaotic. I'll tell you in my world is not chaotic. Lauren's world is not chaotic. We're very happy.
We live great lives.
And it's because we're choosing the latter timeline.
I think that anybody who is on this path and listening to this podcast, you are one of the ones here to help.
Exactly.
You wouldn't be listening or have gotten to this point in the podcast and actually found interest in what we've been saying to not be somebody here who's here to do the work. So it's comes in waves and the frequencies, and, you know, being one of like the first waivers of being here to do the work and clearing out your lessons, you're here to help. And you're going to see people really starting to need the help. So doing it for yourself, but doing it for humanity, most of all, doing it for yourself, because how you best help other people is helping yourself. Just bringing your energy. That's what you're here to do. You're not here to like prove a point or to do things for other people. You are here to be and bring love and light into the planet. And how you do that more and more is going within and healing yourself.
Exactly.
So know that you are amazing, and so many gifts, like the unique expression to bring the world that really everybody needs. And I'm just excited to see how we all connect and like start to shift things together, which we already are.
Yeah. It's going to be a beautiful thing. And that's what we're here with this podcast to do, to bring in the tools, to bring in the tips, to bring in the people who are living consciously, to inspire and just see what changes we can shift.
Yeah. So let's wrap this up. If you were to leave the people with a few tips on how they can best start living a conscious life, what would you say?
All right. That's the first thing that comes to mind is both of one of our favorite people, Matthias DeStefano, recommends this as well, is be conscious about how you breathe. A couple times throughout the day, maybe extending your exhale longer than the inhale, maybe realizing you're starting to breathe into your belly to start to activate that rest and relax response. Be aware of how much you laugh. And if you haven't laughed all day, do something that makes you laugh and have fun and enjoy the moments in your life. And then be conscious of what you put into your mouth. Food-wise, I always think of the worst when I say that first. But what are you eating?
Our minds are in other places today.
What are you eating? What are you eating? Clean, whole, organic foods? What are you consuming in general, actually, too? What are you watching on TV? What are you listening? What energy are you surrounded yourself by? And are you taking that on? So what you eat, how much you laugh, and how you breathe.
I love all those things. It's so simple. We talk about all these like, you know, big things. Consciousness can seem so complicated or hard to understand, but when you break it down, it's really the most simple things.
Yeah.
Laugh, breathe,
and fuel yourself.
Fuel yourself with good energy. And energy is all around us. It is the food we eat, the people we're around. It's everything. And I would also highly suggest taking time for yourself on your own to slow down, deeply connecting with yourself. That's where everything starts to click. If you are not slowing down, there is no awareness there. And it's all about awareness. Mm-hmm. And also spending time out in nature, get in the sun, don't fear the sun, develop a good relationship with it, breathe the fresh air,
meditate. And do these things without a phone, without like, you'd be like, okay, I'm going to spend some time by myself and turn on a show, or I'm going to spend some time in nature and just scroll through your emails or Instagram. That's not the point. That's still doing something.
It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Yeah. And how you show up to that. So showing up for yourself to live a life that you truly love and are excited about and are passionate about. And that's what makes us so passionate about it. Like we said in the beginning, you don't know how good you can truly feel. And by coming back to alignment with yourself, it's infinite. We're just not even at the top of the scale.
And you deserve that for yourself. So thanks for joining us, guys. We got so many more topics to talk about.
Yes.
This is just the start of it. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye now. Thank you for listening. For more information on our classes, events, and retreats, check out our website at yogilawrence.com, linked in the show notes. We love to hear how you are making your own unique wave in the ocean. Connect with us on Instagram at Yogi Lawrence. See you next time.